Welcome to Gray Matter Reports. Today we decode a siren wails in the distance. The scene is set, an alley, drenched in shadows, where intentions blur. A figure darts through the darkness, clutching a bundle. The air is thick with tension, and the faint flicker of a streetlight casts an eerie glow on the subject's determined face. An altruistic crime that spiraled into chaos. The reenactment unfolds, revealing a dramatic rescue gone awry. The individual, known only as Alex, believed they were saving lives. With adrenaline coursing through their veins, Alex attempted to rescue a dog from a locked vehicle, unaware of the observational eyes that lingered nearby. A window shattered, the alarm blared. Chaos erupted. What was intended as a selfless act quickly morphed into a criminal offense. In the sterile confines of a forensic office, documents lay sprawled across a table, each page a piece of a complex puzzle. The silence is palpable. Behavioral experts dissect the case, highlighting the dichotomy between altruism and antisocial behavior. Was Alex simply misguided, or were they driven by deeper motivations? The question looms, can a crime be justified if it's for a noble cause? This moral quandary reverberates through the halls of justice, echoing the internal conflict that plagues our understanding of human behavior. Behavioral theories suggest that altruism can often mask a spectrum of psychological needs: the desire for validation, the search for identity, or even the urge to control. Delving into Alex's background reveals layers of complexity. A history of trauma intertwines with a profound empathy for the vulnerable. Each incident, each choice, reflects a cognitive dissonance, a clash between their perceived righteousness and the legal boundaries they breached. The subject's motivations become a case study in moral reasoning, where the lines between right and wrong blur into a gray fog of intention. Globally, societal views oscillate. In some cultures, altruism is celebrated. In others, it is scrutinized. The acceptance of noble intentions often hinges on outcomes, shifting perceptions based on the consequences of actions. As public opinion sways, we find ourselves questioning the very fabric that binds morality to legality. As the case concludes, the verdict is delivered. Alex faces consequences, yet the community remains divided. Empathy lingers in the air, a stark reminder of the complexities of human nature. In this intricate web of altruism and criminality, we are left to ponder, can one truly separate the noble from the unlawful? The journey into the human psyche continues. The world is a tapestry of intentions. Beneath the surface, the threads weave a complex narrative of altruism and transgression. A montage unfolds. A woman hands out blankets to the homeless on a frigid evening. A man mentors troubled youth, guiding them away from the streets. Simultaneously, shadows emerge, a figure slipping a package of illicit goods into a backpack. A siren wails in the distance, echoing the duality of purpose. In the sterile confines of a behavioral analysis room, the air is thick with silence. Documents scattered across a table bear witness to a case that blurs the line between virtue and vice. Meet James, the subject of our inquiry, a man heralded as a community savior. Yet beneath the benevolent veneer lies an unsettling truth. James, eager to alleviate suffering, engaged in illegal activities to fund his charitable endeavors. The irony simmers. He believed he was saving lives while simultaneously endangering them. What drives someone to breach the law while extending a hand to others? The psychological bridge stretches wide, a pathway paved with cognitive dissonance. In his mind, James was not a criminal, but a hero. He rationalized his actions, viewing the law as an obstacle rather than a guideline. This inner conflict between self-image and reality creates a fracture, a rift that breeds turmoil. As we delve deeper, the clinical terminology becomes clearer. Cognitive dissonance manifests as a psychological response to the juxtaposition of beliefs and behaviors. It's an internal struggle where one's self-perception collides with their actions, leading to a profound sense of discomfort. Cultural lenses further complicate our understanding of altruism and criminality. In some societies, bending the rules for the greater good is celebrated. In others, it is condemned. The definitions of right and wrong morph under the weight of cultural expectations, shaping the narratives of those who tread the fine line between altruism and illegality. The final verdict looms: intent versus impact. James sought to heal, yet his means wrought harm. In this duality, we find the echoes of empathy, a reminder that motivations can be both noble and misguided. In understanding this complexity, we inch closer to untangling the threads that bind us to our choices. As the screen fades to black, the question remains, can we truly discern the heart of intent when the echoes of consequence resound so loudly? The air in the interrogation room hung heavy with an unsettling silence. A single overhead light flickered sporadically, casting shadows that danced along the cold, sterile walls. On the table lay a dossier, thick with evidence yet devoid of moral clarity. Today, we decode the story of Daniel Fisher, a man whose actions blurred the lines between altruism and criminality. With a background in social work, Fisher was once a beacon of hope for those marginalized by society. Yet, in a moment of fervent conviction, he crossed a threshold that would forever alter his trajectory, committing acts deemed illegal to protect a community on the brink of despair. His case presents an intriguing paradox. The behavioral profile reveals a subject driven by an acute sense of empathy, triggered by the systemic injustices faced by a vulnerable group. The documents outline a chilling sequence of events. Fisher, witnessing repeated acts of discrimination, resorted to illegal measures, believing he was safeguarding those who could not defend themselves. This leads us to a critical inquiry. Is empathy a double-edged sword? The psychological bridge reveals a dichotomy, a powerful emotional response that can inspire both compassion and chaos. In Fisher's mind, the ends justified the means, a cognitive dissonance that highlights the complexity of moral decision-making. As we delve deeper, the psychology of empathy unfolds. It is an intricate tapestry, woven from evolutionary instincts and social conditioning. Neuroscientific studies indicate that empathy activates areas of the brain associated with emotional regulation. Yet, when unchecked, it can lead to a perilous distortion of ethics. The very capacity that makes us human can also catalyze harmful behaviors, a troubling reflection of our nature. Globally, empathy influences laws and social norms, shaping the moral compass of societies. In cultures where communal bonds are prioritized, acts of empathy may be celebrated, even if they defy legal frameworks. Conversely, in individualistic societies, the repercussions can be severe, as the law often stands rigidly against subjective interpretations of morality. As we conclude, we are left with a haunting question. How do we reconcile empathy with justice? Fisher's case serves as a poignant reminder of the complexities that lie within the heart of humanity. It compels us to examine the very foundations of our legal systems. The implications of empathy in criminal justice remain profound, an echo of compassion reverberating through the halls of judgment. Shadows hide the truth. Today we decode the masks we wear. In a sterile room illuminated by the flickering light of a solitary bulb, documents scatter across a cold metal table. Each paper bears witness to a life lived in duality, altruist by day, criminal by night. The silence is palpable, broken only by the low hum of a distant air vent. Meet our subject, a community leader, revered for his charitable work. His accolades line the walls of the local office, gleaming reminders of his public persona. Yet beneath the polished surface lies a labyrinth of deception. As night falls, the altruism fades, revealing a darker self, a figure entangled in illicit activities, cloaked in the shadows of his own making. The case unfolds like a clinical study. The subject, let's call him John, is a prime example of cognitive dissonance, where two opposing identities coexist. By day, he distributes food to the needy, his smile a beacon of hope. By night, he navigates a world of deceit, orchestrating schemes that enrich his pockets at the expense of others. The behavioral deviation is stark, yet systematic. Each act of kindness serves to reinforce his façade, masking the moral decay beneath. What masks do we wear in our own lives? This question looms, echoing in the recesses of our minds. Each mask distorts reality, blurring the lines between right and wrong. The psychological bridge we traverse is fraught with dissonance, where self-deception dances hand in hand with a craving for acceptance. Delving deeper, we explore the psychology of identity. The human mind thrives on narratives, constructing elaborate stories to justify actions. A subject may rationalize their criminal behavior as a necessary evil, driven by the need to maintain their public persona. It's a delicate balancing act, where the weight of societal expectations crushes authenticity underfoot. Globally, the landscape shifts. Societal norms dictate actions, urging individuals to conform, even at the cost of their morality. The pressure to wear a mask can lead to questionable choices, as the line between altruism and self-interest blurs. In cultures worldwide, this duality manifests in various forms, yet the core remains, the struggle to reconcile one's public self with private impulses. As we conclude this chapter, reflections linger like an unfinished melody. Authenticity stands as a fragile ideal, often sacrificed on the altar of societal expectations. Are we too wearing masks? In the quest for empathy, we challenge ourselves to peel back the layers of deception within and confront the shadows we harbor. The room is sterile, illuminated by the harsh glow of overhead lights. Papers are strewn across the table, each bearing the weight of a story untold. Today, we decode the ripple effect of altruistic crimes. The camera pans slowly across the faces of those affected, some filled with gratitude, others with despair. Each testimonial echoes like a ghost in this clinical space, where intentions clash with reality. "I thought I was helping," one individual states, eyes downcast. But those good intentions, they spiraled out of control. A case emerges, a narrative woven in complexity. A subject, driven by a desire to uplift, inadvertently triggers a chain reaction of despair. A community center meant to provide refuge becomes a battleground of conflict. The analysis reveals a disturbing truth. Altruism, when misaligned with community needs, can morph into an antisocial profile, leaving victims in its wake. The psychological bridge forms, raising the question, can good intentions lead to bad outcomes? Like a careful examination of biological evidence, we dissect the motivations, compassion intertwined with ignorance. Each choice, a thread pulling tighter, weaving a tapestry of unforeseen consequences. The deep dive reveals more. Victims, now bearing the scars of misguided benevolence, navigate the aftermath with trepidation. Their narratives are filled with an unsettling ambivalence. "I feel betrayed," one states. "I wanted to believe in the goodness of others." The perpetrator, too, grapples with cognitive dissonance. "I thought I was a hero," they reflect, haunted by the shadows of unintended harm. Zooming out, the global perspective emerges. Communities, once bastions of trust, now teeter on the edge of skepticism. Altruistic crimes ripple outward, eroding the fabric of societal bonds. The innocent suffer the consequences of misguided help, fostering a climate of distrust. As we reach the final verdict, the complexities of intention versus outcome unfold. Goodwill, though noble, is not a guarantee of positive results. The echoes of empathy linger, challenging our understanding of morality and consequence. In this intricate dance of human behavior, we are left to ponder: is the road to altruism paved with good intentions, or does it lead to unforeseen devastation? Join us as we continue exploring the intricate layers of the human psyche in the next chapter of Gray Matter Reports. The world is shifting. The landscape of altruism intertwines with crime in ways previously unimaginable. In sterile rooms, illuminated by harsh fluorescence, researchers sift through documents, scrutinizing case studies that challenge entrenched beliefs. Each page whispers tales of individuals who crossed moral boundaries, yet in their actions, revealed profound layers of empathy. A paradox emerges. How can one commit unlawful acts while simultaneously embodying altruistic ideals? Consider the case of the subject, who, after engaging in illicit activities, redirected their resources to uplift marginalized communities. Their story complicates our understanding of morality, blurring lines between right and wrong. As we delve deeper, the silence thickens. Each detail serves as a reminder of the cognitive dissonance that lurks beneath the surface, the struggle between societal norms and personal convictions. The psychological bridge we must traverse is daunting. What does it mean to act altruistically within a framework of crime? The boundaries of morality will continue to bend and shift. Today's criminals may very well be tomorrow's heroes. As we confront this evolution, we must ask ourselves, how will our understanding of morality evolve in the future? Data suggests a growing trend in which motivations behind criminal actions are scrutinized through a lens of empathy. Behavioral analysts are beginning to recognize that individuals often act out of desperation, driven by complex socioeconomic factors. The deep dive into criminal psychology reveals potential future trends, such as the rise of restorative justice models that emphasize rehabilitation over punishment. Could this signify a turning tide, where society learns to see the human behind the antisocial profile? Globally, the narrative of altruism is transforming. In regions plagued by inequality, acts of defiance against the system are framed as pathways to justice. Citizens are beginning to redefine what it means to care for one another, challenging outdated perceptions of crime. This shift carries heavy implications. As altruism evolves, so too does our collective responsibility to engage with the narratives that shape it. As we conclude this chapter, let us reflect on our own biases. The echoes of empathy resonate through every story we encounter. Engage with these complexities. The future of altruism and crime is not just a topic for discussion. It is a call to action for understanding, growth, and transformation.